Panth Hospital, I realized, after seeing like deaths every day, I realized that most people uh, don't get a second chance by the time they end up with a heart attack or a brain stroke, because nobody, no doctor, no healthcare professional had the opportunity to meet them early in the onset of disease and push them, not only meet them, but also push them into making their nutrition corrections, their lifestyle corrections. So this push which is missing today, the opportunity to meet your patient early in the disease, because a lot of heart patients don't ever know. I mean, at least I'm talking about when I was working as a doctor, and our and Panth Hospital, is near Old Delhi. So most patients had no idea that they were having cholesterol blockages. Most patients had no idea that they had high blood pressure. So we had high blood pressure patients coming in a stroke. We had heart attack patients whose cholesterols and blockages were very high. So as a doctor, I thought that I wish I had met them earlier when the disease was just starting, and pushed them, motivated them, guided them into a different nutrition and lifestyle correction. So when we talk about today also the diseases which women face, from cervical cancer, breast cancer, hormonal imbalance, polycystic ovary, uh, liver problems, depression, even depression, which is coming from bad eating habits. I always wonder that I wish that we could introduce all women to the beauty of natural health and how much nature can heal you, how much food can be your medicine. Because most people only think about normal life, disease, and medicine. So this is the only three things people understand: normal life, disease, medicine. But people don't understand that your normal life could be hiding a disease, and your disease can be actually not just a bad thing, but a wake-up call for you to make changes to your nutrition and lifestyle. And most people also do not understand that medicine is only not which comes in a packaging or blister packaging or in a bottle or a capsule. Medicine is also what is there in your kitchens. So there's so much in your kitchen which can be your medicine, your natural medicine, that we don't know. And we take it very casually. We don't look at it seriously because we don't know the value. Eventually, the more value you know, the more likely you are to benefit from natural medicine, food as medicine, and pharmacy in your kitchen. So today, since we are talking about grown-up women and the kind of problems they face, so let's first talk about what are the problems grown-up women face. The first problem, of course, is everything connected to their life, to their monthly cycles. There could be pain in their monthly cycles, spasms. There could be less bleeding. There could be heavy bleeding. There could be irregular cycles. There could be that the cycles are finished much earlier. So these days we are watching, observing, and and noticing that a lot of women who are just 42, 43, their cycles are stopping. And of course, they try to prolong it by taking contraceptive pills or by taking hormonal tablets. But the reality is that their natural cycle has got affected due to some reasons which I will share with you. So what I'm trying to say is that this is a very common problem. Then if we look at polycystic ovarian syndrome, it's a very common problem. if we look at cancer, just yesterday, two women I spoke with, one of them has got a double mastectomy, very young woman, 50 years of age only, double mastectomy because she had cancer. And another lady around 78 years of age who has just been diagnosed with cancer, breast cancer. So what I'm trying to say is that it's not so uncommon to start uh, to get cases of cancer now in women. So it's very important to understand why and how this disease can be, why this disease is getting common, and how we can, what can we do? We can't just wait helplessly. What can we do to uh, to prevent these diseases? So today, because we are going to be talking about just one disease, uh, so let's talk about how can you reduce the risks of cancer, breast cancer, and what are the simple things you should do at home so that uh, your body does not harbor cancer cells. So today I also have with me my panelist. One is an emotional wellness coach. So she'll be talking about how stress can affect your health. I also have my colleague, Dr. Reena Rawat, who will be talking about what are the simple Ayurvedic methodologies to reduce the risk of cancer. So let me first start by sharing with you that cancer is a lifestyle disorder. It is not bad luck. It is a lifestyle disorder, which means we have brought it upon ourselves. Since cancer is becoming widespread, and particularly breast cancer, so few things which I want to share with you immediately are things you should do from now so that your risk reduces. So the first thing you should start doing immediately is that include at least 3 to 4 powerful antioxidants in your daily regime so that even if a cancer cell is forming, those antioxidants keep killing those cancer cells. The first powerful antioxidant is amla, Indian gooseberry. This powerful antioxidant has been known since Vedic times, but you should have it correctly. If you're having it as a candy, it's wrong, it won't help. If you're having it fried or roasted, that's not good enough. If you're having it as with sugar, it's not good. So how you should have it is ideally one amla juiced, take out the juice, it will come out to 1 tablespoon or 2 tablespoons. Mix it with another vegetable juice like a beetroot juice or a beetroot and carrot juice because it's too sour and a lot of people can't handle the sourness. So take that amla, either mix it with beetroot and carrot, cut amla small, cut beetroot small, cut carrot small, and put them into a juicer grinder and drink that juice every day. It will not only protect you from mutant cells, it will also be excellent for your skin. So to get a beautiful skin, this is very important. You should do this. Second thing which is very good, and it's in your, what I say, natural pharmacy, is turmeric. But not all turmeric is useful. Please try to use Lakadoma turmeric, which is in Northeast. You get it on all e-commerce sites. So Lakadoma turmeric. What you have to do is, ideally it should be taken with milk, but because milk has a lot of estrogens and it has a lot of chemicals, so don't take it with milk. But you can take it as a kara, which is tulsi, haldi, ginger. tulsi, haldi, ginger, you can make it into a decoction. So for making decoction, you boil the water, and after boiling the water, sorry, while the water is not, it's not boiled yet, but it's just, you put it on, heat, add the ginger, add the tulsi, add the turmeric, and keep boiling it. And then when it becomes a little darker, take it off the flame and sip it slowly, slowly as a decoction. The third thing which is very important is organic. It's very important to go organic. If you don't go organic, it'll be very hard to prevent cancer in the future. So organic fruits, organic vegetables, and organic oils, because oils have the deepest capacity to travel to the last tissue cells. So organic oil, cold pressed organic oil. When I say organic, it means that the seeds have been grown without any chemical. When I say cold pressed, which means that the oil from the seeds has been extracted without any chemicals. You'll be surprised to know that at how many stages chemicals are added to the oil. The first stage, how your oil gets chemical, is at the growing stage, agriculture. So all seeds which have been grown with using pesticides and fertilizers and all of that carry that pesticide or chemical in the seed. Then when that oil has to be extracted from the seed, again chemicals are used, acids are used, specific hydrocarbons are used, and that chemical, acidic chemical, enters into the oil, and then it is bleached, another level of chemical is added. So at every level, from the seed to the final product, chemicals are entering. And the worst is in packaging, when it's put in a plastic bottle, again the plastic leaches into the oil. So the first thing, please do organic oil and kachi ghani, cold pressed, cold pressed. A lot of people get confused. They say, oh, cold pressed olive oil, which oil is the best? I'm not talking about which oil is the best. I'm saying any oil which you're using, mustard oil, olive oil, peanut oil, it has to be organic and it has to be cold pressed. At least those two things have to be right. In the next webinar, we'll talk about how to choose oils. But today I'm just giving a very basic instruction. Use cold pressed oil, which is kachi ghani, and use organic oils. Which oil, how much oil, all that we'll discuss next webinar. But today, at least do this. Do not store oil in plastics ever. Then the next thing is all processed food, which comes in a packet with, if you turn the packet, you see preservatives, you see chemicals, all processed food. Limit it to once a week. Please only eat any processed food once a week. Do not have it every day. Stop eating processed food every day. If every day in the evening when you go back from work to your home, you open a packet of chips. If during work you open a packet of chips, biscuits, this, that, which all has preservatives, you are doing injustice to your body. Please don't eat that. If you have to eat it once a week, maximum twice a week. I would say once, but for some of you who are eating it daily, at least go to once a week or twice a week. And then gradually try avoiding it altogether. Pregnant women shouldn't even touch such things, because then cancers start damaging in the womb. So pregnant women should not touch a packet of chips, packet of biscuits, any packaged food. Pregnant women should not even touch. So this is the fundamental which I want to share. We are having a complete conclave on cancer. So please ensure that you are registered for that conclave. It's a free conclave where we are inviting the top doctors of the country, and it's only around how to prevent or reduce cancer. So, how to reduce the risk of cancer or how to prevent cancer. That is what we're talking about. But today, because it's women's health, we're talking about women's health. So, I'm specifically talking about some basics. Now, I will also be inviting Dr. Reena to talk about some of the things around women's health, and she'll also talk about a little bit about your Ayurvedic nature, know your DNA, know your basic type, because unless and until you know your body type, you will not understand what we are going to say. So we have a Vedic app, Vedique, Vedic app, and in the chat box, I think Dr. Reena, if you can share the name of the app, please download. Even in that, there is a lot of material, useful material which you can use, and you can also diagnose your prakriti in that Vedic app. So Dr. Reena will be explaining the concept slowly. But if you download the Vedic app, you can actually get more out of this concept. So Dr. Reena, over to you.
Hi everyone. So today we are going to talk about.
Your voice is a little soft.
Okay, let me just.
No, it's fine. I think it's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah. Hi everyone. I'm Dr. Reena, and today we are going to talk about the concept, which we follow at our Vedic diet. It is basically a concept which is based on the Vedic nutrition, a science which is basically customized for each and every individual. And before we start, I would like also tell you about the guest that we have today is Miss Hema. Yeah, hi Hema. Am I audible to you? Hello. Yeah, if anyone from the marketing team, if you can add her to the panelist list so that we can interact with her. And till that time, I'll just brief you up about like what we are going to do today in our session. So in Ayurveda, basically we have three kind of personalities. So one which is basically dominant in is the air element, which we also call Vata Prakriti. Then we have Pit Prakriti, which is basically the fire dominating. And third one is Kapha, which is the water dominating. So these are the three prakritis which are described in Ayurveda. And it is also said that whatever you are eating, it has to be aligned with your prakriti. To analyze the prakriti, all of you who are watching us can also download the Vedic app. I have mentioned the name in the chat. So you can add that. Yeah, just wait for a second. Yeah. So once you download the app, you will be able to answer few questions which are going to help you to analyze your prakriti. So for Vata people, generally Vata people are very lean and thin. If you see like the structure of these people, they are generally very lean and thin. Their skin is very dry and their appetite is and thirst is usually erratic, which means sometimes they feel very hungry and sometimes they don't feel. Similarly, if we talk about the fire element, the people with high fire element in their body, their digestive system is very, you can say, strong. They have a very good appetite. But the moment they start eating something which is very spicy or oily, they are more prone to get the problems which are related to the digestions like acidity, heartburn, all those problems. And sometimes their stomach is also very sensitive. Third prakriti that we have discussed is the kapha prakriti, in which generally your water element becomes very high in your body. And these people are prone to certain health conditions like hypothyroidism, PCOD, weight gain, and other hormonal problems. And the major problem with these people is they have a lot of water retention in their body. So even if they are having their PMS or if they are having late night dinners or whenever they are going out and having meals. So most of the time, their body feels very bloated because there is a lot of water retention in their body. So based on your prakriti, it is very important to know that what kind of food one should have, what kind of lifestyle we should follow. So here I'm going to give you some tips that you can follow if you are able to analyze your prakriti. So if you have a vata personality or a vata prakriti, what you have to do, you have to incorporate certain food in your diet, which is healthy oils in the form of nuts and seeds, which is good for you. Second thing, because there is a lot of dryness in your body, so your body needs a lot of healthy fat so that you can lubricate your body. Similarly, these people are generally very lean and thin. So they can have their proper meals on time because mostly their appetite is erratic. So it is very important for them to take their meals on time. Like they should have their proper breakfast on time, lunch, dinner. So they should not skip any of their meals. When we talk about pitta, there are few tips that you can also follow. For example, they can include a lot of alkaline food in their diet because pitta is fire, which means the production of acid is more in the body. So if you follow a diet which is rich in raw fruits, vegetables, salads, which is basically the alkaline food, then you will be able to manage your pitta dosha. Second thing, the food which is bitter in taste. For example, if you talk about bitter gourd, and if you talk about green leafy vegetables, so these things are very good for pacifying the fire element of your body. And the most important is the water intake. Pitta people should make sure that they hydrate their body and they must have at least 10 to 12 glasses of water along with some lemon into it because the lemon again has an alkaline effect on your body. If we talk about the kapha people, because they have a lot of water retention in their body, so they what they have to do, they have to cut down on the salt intake which they are having. Because the moment you cut down on the salt intake, you can see a lot of improvement in reducing your water retention. And they should eat herbs and spices which are basically boost your metabolism. For example, black pepper, cinnamon, jeera, ajwain. These are the kitchen spices which are very beneficial for people with a kapha prakriti or a kapha nature. So I think Miss Hema has joined us. Am I audible, Hema? Yeah, you are on mute. If you are comfortable, then we can interact.
I'm on the way, so I want to hear you, but I won't.
Okay, you won't be able to say anything.
No, no, ma'am.
Okay, okay, then it's okay. Yeah. So now I'll continue. Like as we have just discussed that there are prakritis, and based on those body type, one should always have and choose their food so that they can be more aligned with their bioenergy. So most of the time it happens that somebody who is consuming milk or maybe any other food which is not compatible to their bodies, they don't feel they don't feel very comfortable. Like for example, they sometimes feel loose stomach, sometimes they are having bloating, or they are not able to digest that food properly. So it is very important to notice that the food which you are consuming, whether that particular food is not going to give any trouble to your body, which is basically a sign that you should avoid that particular food or you should have that food in moderation. Now we will be talking about that in all these three prakritis, what are the ways through which you can heal your body? So there are few things which can be followed by the prakriti depending upon the season also. So the first thing that is very important for the healing of your body and to reduce the inflammation of your body is the vegetable juice. So as Dr. Shikha has also just mentioned, that you should consume the food which is rich in antioxidants. And whenever we talk about antioxidant, there are certain food which are basically we call superfood also. And why we are calling them superfood? Because they are rich in antioxidants. So I'm telling you about few names that you can incorporate in your diet. For example, the number one superfood is amla. So make sure like whenever you are making any vegetable juice for you, you can add amla into it. If you get a fresh amla, else you can also add amla powder to it. Second thing, which has an antioxidant effect on your body is rhododendron. Rhododendron is basically a flower which we also call the buranj. So you can take the infusion of rhododendron, which again has the anti-inflammatory properties, and it is going to reduce inflammation in your body. Third thing is a vegetable juice, which can be apple, you can add on, carrots, you can add on, beetroot, you can add, or the seasonal vegetables also. For example, if it's a winter season, then you can add on some spinach into it. If it's a summer season, then you can add some cucumber into it, coriander leaves into it, lemon juice. So these are certain which are going to help you to reduce that inflammation from your body. And the moment you start consuming this kind of food, like you eat more of fruits, vegetables, and these vegetable juices. So it is very important to know the quantity of the vegetable juice that one should consume in a day so that you can get the result of that particular food. So whenever you start consuming vegetable juice, make sure that you consume 200 to 300 ml of vegetable juice every day. And second thing, sometimes people feel that the taste of the juice is not very good. So for that, you can add on one apple or maybe any other fruit of your choice into it so that it can be more beneficial. So it is something that you must have in your diet every day in the form of vegetable juice. Most of the people think that they are eating a lot of vegetables, they are eating soups, but it is very important to know that whenever you consume something in its original form, like if we are talking about vegetables or if you are talking about fruits, so when you consume them as it is, like when either you can grind them, make a smoothie out of it without, you know, having a process like in terms of cooking. So you will get a lot of fiber from the food. Second thing which you are getting from the fruit and vegetable is the enzymes. There are certain enzymes into these fruits and vegetables which are helpful for the healing of your body. So these are certain things that you can incorporate in your diet. And if you want to see more of healthy recipes, then the Vedic Diet app has a lot of recipes that you can search on it, like about the vegetable juices, smoothies, and antioxidant rich food, which are very helpful for your nutrition. So with that, I would like to hand over this session to Kanika. So Kanika is our success coach. She is a psychologist she's a trained psychologist, and she has a experience of around 7 years. And she'll be sharing like what are the hurdles that people generally get when they start following a diet, or during at the age of like 40 plus, what are the challenges that generally women face. So Kanika, over to you. Yeah, am I audible, Kanika?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Yeah, now you can take over the session.
Sure. So, a very good afternoon to all of you who have joined the session today. So, I am Kanika, the success coach at OneHealth, and I take care of the emotional wellness and the mental wellness of our clients. So, when we talk about women health, stress is a major roadblock, I would say, which comes in the health of females. And when it comes to illnesses like cancer, so cancer isn't just a physical illness. It affects the minds, the emotions, and the overall well-being of women. And one of the most overlooked yet powerful factors in this journey is stress. So today I'll be discussing about the influences of stress in patients of cancer and how psychological support can make a real difference in improving your health outcomes. So when we talk about the impact of stress in any kind of illness, so what exactly happens? Like we all experience stress in our daily lives. So whether it may be due to work, family responsibilities, or any kind of health issues. But when stress comes in, but when stress becomes chronic, it might start to take a toll on your body. And chronic stress might trigger the release of cortisol. So, cortisol is basically a primary stress hormone which regulates the stress in our body. And there might be also other kind of stress hormones involved during this phase. So, which can weaken the immune system and create an environment which is friendly for the cancer cells. And in women, stress has a unique impact due to the hormonal fluctuations. And conditions like breast cancer and ovarian cancers are linked to estrogen levels, which the stress level can influence. And additionally, stress can also contribute to body inflammation, which promotes tumor growth and metastasis. And when we talk about the body, so beyond the biological part, stress can also lead to unhealthy coping mechanism, which might involve extreme stress conditions and the adoption of various kinds of unhealthy habits. Like it may be emotional eating, it may be substance use like smoking or excessive alcohol consumption, or it might be self harm in the face of neglecting the medical checkups, and all of this might worsen the health outcomes. And when we talk about the diagnosis of cancer, it's not just about the physical outcomes, it is also about the psychological battle a woman is facing. There is a huge turbulence of emotions at this time. So feelings of denial when you're diagnosed with cancer, like how can it happen to me? Or the feeling of fear, anxiety, stress, and depression, and even sometimes the feeling of guilt that what have I done wrong that this has happened to me might overwhelm a female. And some women also feel a loss of identity due to the diagnosis of the illness, and especially if they are facing any kind of bodily changes due to the illness or the treatment. And some women also struggle with uncertainty that what might happen in the future, what how long will she be able to live, or how will her family cope up through the treatment process or the illness. And all this emotional burden can affect their overall well-being and take a toll on their emotional as well as their physical health. So stress makes the cancer feel even worse throughout the process. And how can a psychologist or an emotional wellness coach help you in this? Is they can teach you ways to cope up from the trauma that you're having, and teach you ways to relax your mind or some kind of mindfulness techniques. And the feeling of isolation, especially when a woman is facing any kind of such disease. So in this, group therapies and support groups are very helpful. So a psychologist or an emotional wellness coach can help you throughout this process, where you can share your emotional stress in a group setting and listen to what others who are facing the same illness might feel. And at OneHealth, when you enroll in our programs, we can help you uh, in this thing when you where you can cope up with the overall health issues, and our nutritionist will be helping you in following your diets. And we also provide a proper hand holding, because sometimes it's not just the diet you are following, it's about the hand holding and the support you are getting from someone, which will help you in following the diets and the plans properly. So to conclude, I would say that stress plays a major role in the progression and the management of cancer, especially when it comes to the female health, and due to the hormonal and emotional factors. But the good news is that the psychological support can significantly improve a patient's health overall. So off to you, Reena ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you, Kanika. So we are going to wind up this session today. If you have any query, or you want to ask any questions, then you can drop us an email at ask@drshikha.com. I'm typing the same in the chat box. Or you can also download our Vedique app, through which you can get an access of thousands of healthy recipes that you can try. So thank you very much for joining the session and the webinar for the day. And we'll keep updating you about our seminars, which we are going to conduct in future. Thank you so much for joining.